Cognitive dissonance is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as related to behavioral decisions and attitude change. If you hold two beliefs that contradict each other, you're suffering from CD. If you hold a belief that something is wrong and yet justify doing it, or something just like it, despite simultaneously knowing that you shouldn't, you're suffering from CD. If you think that it's wrong for any person under any circumstance to so much as hit a dog that they're looking after, and yet simultaneously justify literally gassing pigs to death in a chamber of carbon dioxide so that you can eat a sandwich that you won't remember eating, you're suffering from CD. In all my 4 years or so of professionally tackling religious fanatics in the public sphere, I have genuinely never encountered more dogma, more ignorance, more evil, and indeed more cognitive dissonance than I have coming from people who, despite knowing the unimaginable horrors necessary to produce it, just can't give up cheese or just can't give up bacon. Well, if that's you, someone who sees veganism as some kind of fringe woke phenomenon or as just a funny and mockable philosophical position to be treated as nothing more than a laughingstock for when you get bored, it's time to snap out of it. Okay, we can either have a grown-up conversation about this or not, but if you're unwilling, forgive me for not taking you ethically seriously. Okay, you can giggle all you like about bacon, though, as if it's still 2009, but while you do, consider that since this video began, 174,869 chickens, 4,150 pigs, 9 donkeys, 14 horses, and 2,772,879 wild fish have all been slaughtered, so that people like you can satiate your addiction to the taste of their flesh and continue to point your greased-up finger at the vegans for being too extreme. For the rest of us, however, who are genuinely willing to take up the mantle of personal responsibility and follow our most deeply held ethical principles without exceptions for the sake of a sausage roll, I want to highlight some of the most obvious abuses of moral logic that I've seen on the topic of animal abuse and show you why it's just so insidious. Right, now, you may be someone who has simply never considered this stuff before, and if that's so, don't feel bad. My anger isn't directed at you, okay? It's not your fault that we live in a society that's normalized animal cruelty to such an extent that we don't even notice it happening all around us. It's really not your fault. But allow me to clue you in, and hopefully that can change. And animal cruelty is truly everywhere. Right, it's a strange and regrettable irony that when I complain about dead animals being present in food and on billboards and in people's shoes, in chairs that I'm forced to sit on, in guitar straps and phone cases and bags and wallets and roads and cosmetics and the only legal physical currency of the United Kingdom, that I'm the one who's forcing other people to encounter an observation that they don't like. Right, I find it funny if it wasn't so sad, especially given just how willing those same people who levy this accusation against me, just how willing they are to be as pushy and loud and forceful and unapologetic as they like when talking about an ethical issue that they agree with, like trophy hunting or dog abuse or bullfighting. And that's what I'm hoping to demonstrate to you in this video, that when it comes to animal cruelty, cognitive dissonance is the norm, not the exception. I had the idea for this video when one day I was scrolling through Facebook and came across a post by a page called Lad Bible. Now, they're one of the biggest social media pages on the platform with around 37 million likes, and you'll almost certainly have heard of them, especially if you're in the UK. They're a huge page, basically, that shares a variety of different kinds of content, and the post that I saw was one about animal cruelty. Now, I started taking screenshots every time I saw a popular post about animal cruelty, and noticed that the general reactions and the comment sections seemed to vary massively depending on which species of animal happened to be the victim. Okay, here's a first example. Swan dies of broken heart after yobs destroy nest and kill unborn cygnets, and Lad Bible captions, "The heartless teenagers smashed her unhatched eggs with bricks and rocks." Obviously, this is horrible, right? Who would destroy the eggs of an animal, killing its younglings, for no good reason? And the comments agree with me. 96,000 reactions, mostly angry, and the comments, "If these words are harsh, I don't care. I hope that someday these teens struggle to have families and think of their actions. Hope they find the little shits responsible for this and throw bricks at their faces. And check it out, this guy on Twitter thinks that we should bring back public hangings for the kids who destroyed these eggs." Okay, understandable outrage, perhaps. But now, here's a fact. That is not an opinion or a hot take, but simply a true fact. Every year, around 7 billion male chicks are killed immediately at birth by the egg industry, either by gassing them or grinding them up alive in an industrial macerator. Egg-laying hens are genetically engineered differently to the chickens used for meat, and so male layer chickens are totally useless since males don't lay eggs. This means that their first and last experience of this world is being crushed or gassed to death, and this chick culling occurs in all industrialized egg production, including free-range and organic eggs. And it's not like we need eggs to be healthy, right? What's the only thing that you can genuinely only get from eggs and not another source? Well, the way they taste. 7 billion chicks, literally ground up alive, or in the words of the British Egg Information Service, humanely gassed every year for the sake of taste pleasure. And not only do people fail to condemn this, they continue to be the very cause of it happening by continuing to purchase eggs. But some teenagers destroy the eggs of one swan, and everybody goes crazy. Cognitive dissonance. Here's another one. Bullfighting will return to Spain with strict new rules. The sport will continue despite the hopes of animal rights campaigners that the coronavirus pandemic would end the tradition. Again, thousands of mostly angry reactions. Let's look at the comments. This world is so messed up that people still want to see animal torture, fox hunting, bullfighting, various festivals that glorify animal abuse and cruelty. Sick people with no heart and no morals. It's disgusting. How can anyone think it's sport? Barbaric evil, torture of animals. This is why I would never go to Spain. Yes, good idea. Stay in the UK, where we would never force cattle to run around in an arena whilst being fought by a human. Stay in the UK, where we treat our cattle with decency by forcibly impregnating them, separating them from their wailing children, bolt-gunning 70,000 of those calves in the head every year and killing them for veal, taking the mother's milk and then shipping her off to a slaughterhouse to have her throat slit for the sake of a burger. Hopefully the animal protein will give you enough energy to continue complaining about how poorly Spain treats its bovines. Of course, Lad Bible also makes posts relating to cows who have been abused and killed for the sake of being tasty. And I'm sure that this receives just as much condemnation. McDonald's is adding breakfast rolls with bacon, sausage, eggs, and cheese tomorrow. That's cheese from the dairy cows that we just talked about, along with the eggs necessitating the gassing or maceration of male chicks, and bacon and sausage from a pig, most likely in this country killed in a gas chamber, which simultaneously, by the way, acidifies the liquid in their eyes and throat whilst choking them to death. The caption? Breakfast just got a whole lot tastier. Love eyes emoji, licking lips emoji. Give me a break. Right? The only comment that I could find complaining about this post was someone upset that they no longer sell a steak, egg, and cheese bagel. Cognitive dissonance. Okay, let's take a slightly different turn. UK Zoo might have to euthanize its animals after being forced to close. Again, thousands of mostly sad and angry reactions. I mean, I'm not sure what the problem is. I was under the impression that it wasn't wrong to kill an animal as long as it had a good life and was well looked after before being slaughtered. Perhaps people have changed their mind on this. This commenter says, shocking, death should never be an option unless the animal's in extreme pain that won't heal or get better. If it bankrupts them, it bankrupts them. This should be made illegal. That's right, no excuse for taking the life of an animal that doesn't need to die. Unless it's a pig. Or a cow, or a chicken, or a duck, well, I think you get the picture. Right, but here's some better news. Iceland to donate profits of penguin biscuits to Chester Zoo after adopting penguins. The caption, you can help save the zoo by buying this snack. That's right, you can now help penguins by buying a biscuit containing milk from an industry that abuses and kills cows. How heartwarming to be given the opportunity to save some animals by signing the death sentence of others. Of course, cows are cows and penguins are penguins, and that makes all the difference. Cognitive dissonance. Here's something more local. In Oxford, there's a large meadow called Port Meadow, where you can find cows and horses going about their business. Unfortunately, it also has a problem with people littering, and a little while ago, the Oxford City Council made this Facebook post. Litter kills. This 7-month-old calf died after eating rubbish left on Port Meadow. Take your litter home with you or face a £150 fine. And the local community were understandably outraged. Yeah, you know what else kills cows? Killing cows. 70,000 calves are killed each year in the UK alone so that we can eat veal. And that's done on purpose, right? And it's done by the same people prodding the angry react button in response to people being so heartless as to leave their litter in a field for a calf to eat. I know that I'd much rather be that calf than a cow on a factory farm, but so long as one is being turned into a tasty lunch, who the hell cares, right? Cognitive dissonance. Sea turns red in Faroe Islands as 250 whales slaughtered in one day in annual hunt. This year's barbaric event is going ahead despite the global pandemic. Again, let's look at the comments. Give me a gun and 10 minutes. The whales will be fine and I will not feel a thing when the humans are dead. Nothing humane about this at all. An act of cruelty masquerading as tradition. There are many things we used to do that are no longer relevant to today's society, and I wish this would cease. I couldn't have put it better myself. Now, someone else tries to defend this tradition by saying, how about people mind their own business and stop judging other people's culture and traditions? And here comes the response. A tradition? Shut up. Sick as fuck. Traditions are Christmas and New Year, not slaughtering animals in this awful way. Eat turkey or chicken like normal people, not sea mammals that live in their ocean. Just shut your hole, mate. Yeah. Actually, as if it needs it, I do have one comment on this. You'll remember that the original headline says 250 whales slaughtered in one day. Now, if, like this commenter, you want to eat chicken like a normal person, it may be of some use to know that the exact same number of chickens are killed for food in less than a 15th of a second. For reference, since this video began, this is how many chickens have been slaughtered for food. Now, I wonder how angry the coverage of this chicken abuse is from the Lad Bible. KFC is selling half-price Zinger stacker burgers this weekend. Customers just have to use a secret code word, drooling emoji, love eyes emoji. What's that word? Oh yeah, cognitive dissonance. Here's a video on YouTube that really rubbed people the wrong way. ASMR dog leg eating. That's right, an ASMR channel posted a video of a woman eating some dog. And as you can see, the like to dislike ratio is telling. Here are some of the comments. The most delicious thing about this channel is its dislike button. I'm starting to think that this woman is a demon or something. Wonder when her eating my mum ASMR video is coming out. Come near my dog and see what happens. How can she eat a dog? Such a horrible thing. And my personal favorite, imagine asking this girl to cook you a hot dog. Yeah, imagine if she put a dead dog inside of some bread instead of a dead cow. That would be outrageous. Imagine if she put a dead pig. Oh, wait, no, because this ASMR video of someone eating some dead pigs, animals which are, by the way, just as intelligent as dogs, went down an absolute treat. People loved it. Cognitive dissonance. But even with everything that I've just shown you, at least vegans are generally respected online for their views, and not mocked or ridiculed or anything like that. It's not like any post remotely related to veganism, even when it's not motivated by the treatment of animals, is laughed out of the room by meat eaters, is it? Well, let's once again turn back to the Lad Bible to find out. Woman who spent £10,000 on failed acne treatment clears skin by going vegan. Cool. Right, good for her, whatever. Now let's look at some of the comments. The hardest thing about being a vegan is keeping it to yourself. Ha ha ha, did you come up with that one yourself? If God didn't want us to eat animals, he wouldn't have made them out of meat. I'd rather have a nice juicy burger with a slice of cheese and eat it in front of the cow's crying family. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that I've made my point, and that you'll think twice before claiming that vegans are pushy or extreme or cringy or just need a nice steak. Or if you can't manage that, then you forfeit your right to complain about animal cruelty when the victim happens to be a member of a species that you find cute. But you know what's definitely not cute? Cognitive dissonance. So cut it out. I've been Alex O'Connor, or Cosmic Skeptic. You can find me on social media here. If you like what I do and want to support it, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/CosmicSkeptic. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.